Utani.
Naso?
Chinarona.
No.
So when we're ready, we'll begin with Dzogchen Barwa. We'll do it in Tibetan today. Great Blazing Bliss on page 5. And then we will continue with the short mandala offering and request for teaching on page, what is it, Mark? 39? Thank you. 39. And we'll wait for the signal from Gary. Hi, everyone. Lama Tenzin Samphel, Tane Konsola. Tashidleilap.
It is strange.
Yes.
Yeah. I have to look there.
Actually, it is that camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this one, no?
We're on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we can start.
Okay. Take 1 minute just to settle a little bit, and then we'll start. Om Hri Dzogchen Barwa Wangi Potran Du Dedon Soso Tope Yeshigu Maja Deden Veme Ranshin Le Dorje Nima Nawa Chenpo Jugu Nawa Taye Dorje Che Jiden Wanche Tuche Che Tasum Bema Gyobe Kording Awan Gyor Narsisin and Wanshin Heruka Sanway Yesheva Chevarai Dem Chodebe Gyobe De Jender Malu Gege Iterik Chema Chotin Chagya Wanchuk De Donga Wanted Dorje Power Dagi So Nandan Version Vengang Nid Dorje Gui Kagi Sisunyo Game Sungi Shide Kamsungo Usim Marbe Korde Yon Like Yahab Sishi Dangshin Yoshin Du Barche Dorje Shakve Chenve Tsugini Namning and Dip Dege Choksushin Dorje Shakye Shakve Chenve Yi Nakshi Dewa Chenve Dom Sheva Chai Kyucho Yiroga Chen Jogi Kongu Chewe Shinshuke Rachin Zasun Wangi Latsula Kibe Sowa Depsu Chinjilo Joktung Nunda Debe Beltada Tongme Wandu Cheving Andruso. Page 39. Shall we do this in Tibetan too today? Sashi Pegi Chushing Medor Tong Rira Linchi Nide Kembadi Sangye Shingdu Mikde Puwai Chogan Nanda Shingla Chavasho Idam Guru Radhamandala Kamnaya Tayami Simchen Namgi Zambatan Loyi Cheta Chitarpur Chetung Tumong Tekbayi Shigi Korlo Korduso.
Any? Invoke?
Not to invoke?
Yeah.
Really?
And then
Lama
invoke.
Tenzin?
Yeah.
Kyabda Gyawanam Sangir Mebe Namdin Sumden Chinchen Lama Che Rizin Jorme Tupten Jatsola Soa Depsa Nyamlen Tarshin Shu.
Zamlin Zibe Gendu Chonyi Tan Tuje Lundo Nyambe Tungaya Natre Tambar Bebe Tushu Konde Chugur Zobe Longchen Ba Jime Vesri Chala So Ande Jinte Sanjen Gunda Nyamne. Kadin Sanjen Namne Chelaba Zawe Lamin Shavla so on. Dason Reve Lona Chela Jur Kanda Chuchu Tongi Jigdena Deshi Lomar Jura Council and the Timbi Chuji. Sember Deba Tamjen Deshi Namo Arya Tambal Haiketan Ludan Nujinke Gunda Mi Kenam. Droha Kunje Danam Chitamba Tamsheke to so to you. Yes. That younger man to Mutune, Kunji Gabukola, Ani Tesam da, Tesam Gomsungi, Ani did it chat over the Nashida Gabuchum, Ani Dela Peva Tama, Lavado, Tarimbune, Ani Karanzu in the Chela Tonanche. Kashi Shoba, Kashi Gonda, Kashi Ningung, that is a Kanjimanji Yere, Cheta, Samadinde, Tonaya, which Chela any Indegi, any Tundrichen, now along a Twitch Shiada, any Taringi, the Kokap Tabadi, Nashidagi Kabuchum, any Kokap Dila Tene, Maransu Sama, and Chugin Yamnen Tachimaji Yabuchi. You must show us in any. Chimagi Samlo Meba said Dirangla. Only one chugging Yamne Yang Tapa Chene. Ani one tane Karsuri, Shendala, Robada, Yapda, Dindamugo, so go tene. So get Travadi, Sosorangi Topne, Ani Sosata Maimbe, Ani Sosugi, Chugi, Simje Mangola, Ani Pento Yachimbu Yongada, Ani Tindiki Malam Yakujabins, 2 channels.
So again, we are able to come together and to continue this teaching, to engage together in listening, in reflecting, and in meditation, and I'm very happy that we are able to do this. And especially I'm happy because of the way in which you are expressing your interest in taking your time and making your effort, and people taking their time at all sorts of times. For some of you, it's evening. Some of you, it's very early morning. And despite this discrepancy of time, you are expressing your interest in the teaching. And thank you. Thank you for that. It makes me very happy. And so we have a prayer, an aspiration with which we begin. And let us begin with this aspiration. And my own aspiration is truly that our practice will come to completion. We will complete our practice. And I'm not saying in some future life, but actually in this life, come to fruition in our own practice, in this life. And that we do this not only with the sense of wanting our own practice to go well for ourselves, we do this with the sense that we wish by this practice to be of benefit to others, so that we can be of help, actually. We're not just thinking of our own attainment here. We are thinking of what we will be able to offer to others. And so in this prayer, we conclude by aspiring that many, many living beings will experience vast benefit through our own practice.
Diretta, so tade mansugi ta chushi di ani kunji gyabo gore ta kunji gyabo di ani che ta gyudan drevi tekpas jidan sanji gi che sidigasu gyudan drevi gi tekpas sigere ta di gi che kunji gyabo gi che di ani gyudan drevi le debe gi che gyunde tang chawa tang zolwa tang ani tindele debe gi che 아니 원에 전에 추구기 공부 추구 군도 상부고 공부 가리임바 디 아니 원에 전에 되니 라마 규베기 담가다 아니 공부에 진납다 아니 로메기 대바다 모기다 근데 망보지 답 좀네 냠도 용득 없어 아니 디 공부디 카투지파 ngotene ani digangla pha nyamnen she gi cheti she ba din ta di ngone thane anzo gyundele debe gi cheji ba go gui tekba ya mare debi tekba ya mare gyundele debe tekba di ani di pe masibe za chimbuda ani nganzo dindegi nyamlen cheya da dinde thobe di ngone thane dinde keba sangboda ani soso 아니 너마 레 상보 선남 첨보 레 상보를 때는 선남 첨보를 때는 아니 근데 이거 디 참마 아니 직 뭐네 소소기 만남다 레다 만남나 때네 아니 딘디기 깨바 상보디 좋아인데 디 깨바디 하커버 제네 아니 쉐디 뭐네 전에 약부지 냠는 책에 다 개첨부 책이야.
The main teaching that we are engaging in this retreat is we are continuing the teaching of the instructions, Longchenpa's instructions on the meaning of the All Creating Majesty. And this teaching is not a general teaching of the Buddha. This is a teaching that is beyond cause and effect. In general, the Buddha's teaching, as we know, has to do very much with cause and effect. The vehicles of the Buddha's teachings are mainly about this. However, in this case, this particular teaching is beyond cause and effect. It's beyond activity and effort. This is the teaching of the grace mind of the Dharmakaya, of Samantabhadra Gompa, grace mind, enlightened intent of the Dharmakaya of Samantabhadra. And this is a lineage that comes about through the Damnak, the quintessential instructions of the great lineage of lamas. It comes about also through the blessings of the great grace mind of the enlightened ones. And the other factor involved here, in addition to lineage blessings, is the devoted confidence or faith of the student, the devotion, these words some of you know, Teba and Mugu, this kind of attitude on the part of the students. In this way, we can move along on the path, and the actual grace mind, Gompa Korang Mutra Chetukere, and in this way, Tega Lamsang double.
No, Katu.
And so, in this kind of vehicle, this kind of path, this kind of circumstance, from our side, from the lineage side, then it is possible, really quite immediately and directly, to identify this actual state, this enlightened grace mind. And again, this is a state that is not, it's beyond cause and effect. It is a very, very precious practice. And if we consider for a moment, how is it that we come into contact with such a teaching? It has to be because we have very, very positive actions that we have done in the past. It has to be because we have great merit from our own activities in the past. And in short, the possibility of us meeting with this kind of teaching comes about because of our own aspirations, previous aspirations, and our own karma. And so knowing this, it is also very important that we actually practice this well, since through these circumstances we have been able to contact it, and within that also understanding that this is not a vehicle, this is not a causal vehicle, this is not an effect vehicle or path, it is beyond both of those.
That indicates anzu che di kola tesam gomsum kari cheba inaya ani tate ngaran sogi sem chik karsure ngaran sogi sem karata chik yinchik minchik kala warata chik gyumsen chiki tone hako goya da 아니 시험 받지야다 대연 똑 받지야 균센지가 라 말레 받지 하고 그요 균센 가디나 창말로 균센 책이요 말았어 김체랑 체바이나 아니 만수 디 원에기 되는디 추구기 되는디 또 두고 말했어 김체랑 라 쪼워체네 삼루땅네 딜라 체바체네 아니 자 나스다 이제는 또게 봐서 저러 칙랑 라 쪼워체체 칙이 되는데 하고서나 딱 배제 디와나시 디니 디 되는디 또 발라 디니 리바땅네 아니 룽다 리바다 딘데라 때네 아니 인치 미지 균센 찍다 세마 찍라 때네 딘데 두비아 딩아서 타니기 아니 로기 셰바치야다 디기 되나 주바치야를 팽기여래 이네 뭐네 나서 냠네 이 취다 문제 개발해서 비기 따와던 딘데 가시는데 가서다 딘데 이다 소 디기 삼루디 제고고여래 인치 민치 균센나 때만 거지 균센레 데베기 되나 아니 삼루디 고체고 하나 신치 개침부여.
So when it comes to this particular teaching, this type of teaching, how do we engage in listening, reflecting, and meditating, this famous triad? In this case, unlike in many other cases, it is not reasoning. It is not reasoning and logic that is essential to our practice. The meaning that we are seeking to realize is not something that we will arrive at through the ordinary way of understanding words and using logic. It does not depend on this. And so we recognize that not everything is encompassed by logic and reasoning. We cannot realize the Dharmakaya, the sheer dimension of Buddhahood, true form. We cannot realize that by depending on reasoning. And this is a particular feature of this path. In the dialectic school, what are called the dialectic schools, the scholastic schools of Buddhism, understanding word and meaning is in fact essential, is extremely important. That is how we proceed. We use reasoning and scripture, and in that way come to an understanding that is valid, that is authentic, sema, pramana, that word. However, when we talk about this, we're simply talking about the conventional mind. We could say the ordinary mind. This is not how we proceed in this practice. This is not the way that we practice the view. It's not this kind of reasoning and so on is not the main thing. It's not crucial. This path, this practice, this view, which we are engaging in, is beyond reasoning. It is past that. So this is something very important for us to recognize.
딘디다 오늘 전에 딘데기 다 근제 개발로서 딘데기 대하나 공백값서 쌤데 구수 독부디 자기와 말해서 쌤 구수 독매가지 쌤데 구 양부 지강 샤고 아니 람상 딘데가나 아니 냠낸 집에 값서 지 남도 올라서 봐다 아니 딘데 삼로 딘데 강게 와다 람상 달았다네 오 답에 두자레디 레소 근데 람상 빼 할래바나 신지 지겨 말에 빼 틀레시고레스 가르치나 오늘 소소기 따외기 되라 녜시 약부지 녜 따와라 또 댕다부지 터바이나 아니 남도길로 강당 강다부 약부게 바이나다 두자게 바이나다 가리다부지 게 바이나 디 참마 아니 릭바 못 돼야라 그게 록바치게 얼마도 그게 아니 가야 발치 치게 말했어 아니 만초라 남도 개박이 균세 가르치는 남도 쌤나는 남도 지를 가르치는 쌤디 초고여래 디 초고박이 균세 저어디 쌤나 릭바디 예바 인자 릭베기 춘툴라 때네 아니 쌤나 초와딩 거래서 쌤 초와라 때네 아니 쌤디 못초거래 쌤 못초인데 없어 아니 오늘 전에 가서 갈래 못초니 아니 댕지 톱네 아니 쌤라 남도로 강께나야 아니 디기 쌤 툭툭이요 말이야 디 다다기요 말이야 남도라 다다기요 말이야 남도 디 모셰바체네 남도 디라 때네 티니 릭바 모초고요 아니 디하코바체네 아니 쌤 디페 러부 양부지고요 딘디 가서 당부 이 근롱다고디 죄를 주배 가서 셈바데 틴데 그 양보다 야침부지가 안 두고 그래요.
And in this teaching of the All Creating Majesty and Longchenpa's instructions on how to practice it, what sort of mind will be helpful to us? Well, not a tight mind. Our minds being very relaxed and open and spacious. This is what makes this teaching and understanding possible. And what does this mean? It means that, generally speaking, whenever there is a thought, especially if it's a very strong thought, oh, this is very good, this is very bad, I don't like this, I don't like that, immediately we have this kind of reactivity. And that is associated with a kind of, we want to relax this. We want to relax this type of work that we do with reacting to every thought. In this, what we want is to get nyeshe, this definitive understanding, a real, genuine recognition of the view in our own experience. And when we have even a little taste of that, it really ups our sense of confidence. And it also makes it possible to recognize that whether our mind is good or bad, we can identify our, I'm going to say, sheer presence for Rigpa, this famous Dzogchen word of Rigpa. When we can identify our sheer presence, our Rigpa, then we also find that whatever thought that we might have, good or bad, is actually helping us. It's helping us to identify our sheer presence. And in this way, we recognize that thoughts are not a problem. The mind will always produce thoughts. However, when it comes to Rigpa and identifying our sheer presence, these thoughts, in fact, once we have made this identification, actually absorbed something of this identification, we can see that no thought can do anything to our Rigpa, our sheer presence. It's not a harm. In fact, it can be a great help. It's not an enemy. It can be it can help our actual recognition. It can help our experiential identification. It can help our actual recognition of what our own Rigpa is. And so this experience, in order to be permeable to this kind of experience, it is important that our minds be really relaxed, spacious, and vast.
So
About,
in the early part, he did say that when typically we have a kind of mind where conception arises and we have a sense that our thoughts are like an enemy. And in this practice, given what came later, it's not like that. We're not viewing our thoughts as enemies.
tatini samlo ku yangbo dang lepo chene ani Dzogchen ge na ne mi ge bugi bugu chemu chewala tawa na shin sigaro tindegi samlo da chene semba dis sketching buyo res tini bugu chemu la mi ge bugi tabe kaso chochine kari tongor스나 닝보 매발라 닝보 숭네 아니 참참 개무쇼 참참 무 참참 투바자 초진이 디통게래 초진이 가르송사 아니 닝지기 로디기가 오네 매발라 여버 숭툴 매발라 여버 툴 아니 매발라 여버 숭 매발라 여버 툴네 숭발라 때네 아니 착당기 레사 아니 착당기 레라 때네 아니 대화다 둥아이뇽 아니 너도 참마 오늘 전에 매발라 여바지 숭네 데라 tru네 중앙데 하고 고인디 가서 아니 오늘 전에 쌤게 나라 아니 잠바다 닝제다 아니 딘데기로디 랑슈기 레운이 그래서 딘데 가서 남진기 심진 시엔라 참박이 로 깨고 지디가서 참박이 로 마징에라 당부 콘조 창마 능의 양기도 콘조 창마 대화 민두인데 삼로 독자 망고 단계 되는 단 거예요 말했어. 오늘 전에 삼로디 가왔던 것은 오늘 출발이 거라. 매발라 여벌송네 매발라 여벌송어라 때네 출발로게 출발라 때네 아니 대두길래 아니 대두 용 들리지 마고 된다 밀람기 나라 아니 상행기 나와 중네 딜라 아니 가시งู가시게 디체원나신기 나와 셔게 디기 삼로디 나신치네 오늘 가서 검당 냠랜당 가리나야 마징에나 당부 딘디기 셈구 양부디 시라게 침부여 아니 검 야베 값수야 검 약부 잡나 검 약부 주나야 약부래 검 약부 마주나야 약부래 아니 약부 중하다 약부 마중와 디기 난수 리발라 팬토야다 너바게 가야 요 말에 딱검 잡을 때는 난수 가르팬도 그러나 릭바 통해야라 깝켄기 디 메바스에기 탑시 지거마도 릭바 코랑 응연이 요바래 코 야와치마다 두르치마다 니치 카야마 디 디네기 댕지 고네 요바디 하코네 딜라 댕세네 아니 냠렌 또 제발 때네 약보당 두자라 때네 셈디 람상 가부차야다 아니 셈 람상 두부차 딘데 메바지 디 셈바디 개침부시라 차게서 나도 검장야 또치
So again, the importance in Dzogchen practice, in practicing the great completeness of our being easy, relaxed, open, spacious. And what is that like? It's like an old person watching children play. So the older person is watching the children play and sees what they're doing, and also sees that, in some sense, they're getting very excited. Either, they laugh, they fight sometimes, they joke, they do different things. But there's really no there. From the perspective of an older person watching the children, we understand that they are fundamentally, whether they're laughing or fighting, they have in mind that something exists which actually doesn't. There's a certain mistake going on. They think that something terrible has happened, or they think this, or they think that. It's a question of, with respect to what doesn't exist, they feel that it does. And because of that, they hold on to it as good or bad. And because of holding on to it as good or bad, become very happy or become very sad, develop desire, develop hatred, and act on the basis of those things. And in the end, this will lead to suffering, dissatisfaction, all because of this error of something taken to be very, very real, to exist, which actually doesn't exist. And that's what we mean by essenceless. There's no real there. And watching the children in this way, watching living beings in this way, one develops compassion. Oh, because of believing in something that isn't actually there, they eventually, suffering arises. And, sometimes we feel that in order to have compassion for other people, we have to feel, oh, they're in such a terrible situation, such a dreadful thing has befallen them, and so on. But in this case, this is not really what we're talking about. We're talking about the compassion that comes from recognizing the error in which we are all living. We the children, are all living in this state of erroneousness, feeling that what is actually not is. And this is very key to how we live our lives. We don't recognize, therefore, that everything is really like a dream. Good is a dream, bad is a dream, it's all a dream. Some things we like, some things we don't. Happiness and suffering come, but it's all rather dreamlike if we can see how it really is. And in our meditation, it's important that in order to be able to access this view, this perspective, that our own minds be open and easy, and with respect to meditation as well, that we are very relaxed. If our meditation is very good, it's good. If our meditation is terrible, it's good. Either way, we want to recognize that good meditation doesn't help sheer presence, our rikpa. Bad meditation will never harm it. So there's really no problem with our rikpa, and we don't have to worry with respect to that if our meditation is good or bad. There's going to be no harm or help either way. All we're really trying to do is the rikpa is already there, the sheer presence is already there. All we're trying to do is remove what covers it, just to remove what covers it, and to develop confidence that it's there, to really know from our own experience that it is there. And in this way, to practice, this is very important, to recognize that neither help nor harm is arising through our meditation, and to be just relaxed. This is a kind of a main teaching for us.
So not to be reactive to our good meditation or bad meditation is very, very important.
이렇지 아니 제톱라 스템라 가리 차르기스나 아니 미기 상와 랍스나 람상 스템라 가부게네 디스 나갸게 로게나시 나 미기 소소라 두자 랍스나 람상 컨트롤라야나시 딘디게 삼로디 랑싱기 마메 와차드 칼레 가 뇽도 딘디게 삼로디 쿠양보지다 아니 로 데부지가네 냠렌체 아니 딘디치 제바나 아니 삼로디라 차단길로디 슉침부디 메바차네 칼레 마 좀르에 랑싱기 차용 거야. 다디 개침부지레스 디 나즈디 칼레 야게 땅거에디 개침부차게.
And what about in the aftermath, the between time, jetop, between meditation sessions? What is that like for us? Well, generally we know that when someone says something very kind to us, we like it a lot and we feel proud. And somebody says something not so nice to us, we feel sad, we get angry. In other words, we're reactive, just depending on whatever somebody says. But gradually, through the kind of recognition that we've just been talking about, we come to not be so reactive. Just naturally, this reactivity will decrease, and we're just, in a general sense, easy, spacious, just pleased, happy. We don't gradually, our addiction to reacting with desire, with hatred, these sorts of responses will gradually decrease. And this is something very, very important.
다 딘데 인데 가서 다 지단 낭체 나네 당부 롭종 치디 가서 규단 제부 칸데 이메 아니 김센당 세마당 딘데 망구지 간에 당부 롭종 체네 아니 갈래 디야 롭종 디 약부 차네 약부 시엔데 가서 아니 규단 제부라 때네 아니 규단 제부레 데베게 되는데 갈래 또 가지 시거와 이제 단단 아주 오늘 전에 최시하기 군지 개불어서 거디 오늘 딘디지기 따와간 레사 시작이 돼요 따와도 무슨 시다 톱을 내차 버려 딘디 값수 아주 지단기 낭배 최근나라 나게랑나 냠부검 거래서 나시 she당랑나 냠부검 거래서 나시 근데 레레라 냠부 레레기 딘디기 빼마시베 자심부당 구수 덕부디 매바체 오늘 전에 따와 거랑 게 돌아 가두치마이나 아니 셈기 춘이 강라 파 샤샤바이나 아니 she당 랑나야 셈기 춘이 강라 열두여레 콩도 랑나야 셈기 춘이 강 예두여레 차도 랑나야 셈기 콜라 레레레 먹고치 치기 참아 좀데 바샤게 디 디페 마시베 펜토 첨부다 아니 디페 마시베 가서 마스다
So in general, in the course of study Buddhist teachings, there's a lot of study of cause and effect and how cause and effect arise, and using reasonings to understand this very well, using valid, authentic reasonings, pramana, tsema, so that gradually we do come to understand cause and effect, that everything depends on cause and effect, And then slowly, very, very, tene rimba, kali, gyundele deba yuare, hakoro. And then gradually, in this way, come to understand that actually there is a beyond of cause and effect. In this case, we have here with the All Creating Majesty, the Kunja Gyalpo, Longchenpa's commentary on it, we have arrived, just like that, at a very high teaching already. This view is a very high teaching. For example, in general in Buddhism, as you know, we talk a lot about antidotes. So when we are filled with a desire, there's a particular antidote for that. When we are filled with pride or jealousy or hatred, we deal with it by applying an antidote. We counter it in some way, right? There are many practices like that. However, in this case, this is not our principle. In this case, the principle is that if hatred arises, if pride arises, if jealousy arises, then what? Well, it simply dissolves into the Semgi Chunyi, the mind nature itself. Mind nature, nature of our own minds. Jealousy will dissolve into that. Hatred will dissolve into it. Everything will dissolve into it. And this, recognizing this is of tremendous benefit, very great benefit, and also it's extremely powerful.
인데게 로차 아니 셈바딜 흘리체 아니 간서 무튜네 근데 군지게 가나 양게파 두기니스.
And so, within a very relaxed and easy mindset, we will continue.
다 군지게 나 디기 당가디 사제다우로 사제다우라기.
So I'll speak now. Lama Tenzin has text open to page 482, if those of you who have a text. I'll offer a little bit of the sabche, the table of contents. Maybe we can get this written up.
군지 개보기 디 아니 된숨 가니시 아니 개갱기 치니 로마기 치니 아니 군지 개보 코랑기 된 가림바디 마시아디 숨간 마시게레스.
So in general, there are three main topics, and I'm not sure where and they are down here. Oh yeah, at the bottom of page 482. We see there, it says very clearly that there are, with respect to these quintessential instructions on the meaning of the essence of this text, there are three topics. One having to do with the teacher, the student, and then the meaning of the text itself. So,
that inju lamegi tsini, lomagi tsini, inju tsangmashene, tadangans kawalersna, that dambarang layers.
So, and from among these, where have we gotten to?
No. We
have discussed already the identifying characteristics of the teacher and of the student, and so now we are talking about the meaning of the text itself, the Dhammangak, the quintessential instructions of the text itself.
Dhammangak di siddhi kapsu ani yi cheyak chedu. Loma tsogi 아니 최디 양탁과 임바자 하고네 디 이체야기 체도 아니 규베기 로규디 마직시게 규바기 로규디 제세 아니 규바 로규데라 규베기 로규단 드레기 아니 담가 코랑 아니 가림바 디직세 아니 타마타마들라 아니 담가디 간데 상화 제부여봐 상화 제부 딘데 숨가네 아니 군지기하고 된 상화 마시게
Jitsasum.
No. Dinero.
Lasso. Sumba.
Disum, no.
Yes. So now we're at 485.
No.
Six lines from the...
Sarne. Damga Korana Sumshe.
6 lines down. Having completed the discussion of the teacher and the student, we are now talking about the stages of the quintessential instructions of the teaching itself, and so what are those? What are those three here? They are having confidence, yije, and also the stages of the lineage and recognizing in order to develop confidence, about the stories about the lineage, so that it will be understood that they are genuine and authentic sources. And then third, coming from that, the actual instructions themselves, and also.
Nibadi 당부디 규박이 로규체 이체 계약체도 규별 로규지 당부체 아니 니바디 아니 규바디레 중앙에 담가들한테 아니 숨바디 담가디 아니 페마시베 사보당 아니 사보당 상화인자 아니 디 간지만진레 셰요 말레스 근데 숨 이가니 셰로
근데 니바디 세아디 텔레 중시 담가크라
규바디네 중앙에 담가 코란체 당부디 규박이 로규체 이체 계약체도 아니 이체 계획이 로규 라마 규백이 로규체 사베젤라 아니 규바디라 담가 가림바디체 아니 숨바디라 아니 담가디 상화체가 바시 근데 숨가니 셰
So the three topics are, first of all, stories and information about the lineage in order to develop confidence in its authenticity, that it is a true source for us. Second, the actual instructions that arise from that lineage, that we, in connection with that lineage. And third, that these are instructions that are a secret, that are therefore not just dispensed here and there anywhere. They're all secret. So those are the three also.
네. 다들 당부들랑 오늘 전에 개침부치 가르쳐나 띵안서 탁발도 아니 지계기 낭바철 하고에 개치시 가르쳐나 규바디인지 민지 약부 고고여레스. 규바디 쿵쯤보 어톤틱스로. 규바디 쿵쯤보디 인지 민지 고고여레스. 규바디 쿵쯤보면나 아니 딜레 중국이 최디 쿵쯤보 매바차가래. 쿵쯤보 매바기 최디 제바이나 아니 딜레 되고 매바차고. 당부 규바디 배 개침부차가여레스.
So why do we first discuss the lineage? Because the authenticity of the lineage is absolutely essential. If the lineage is not authentic, is not genuine, then the teachings that come from it will also not be authentic or genuine, and therefore will not bring about any fruit. So that is why that is the first topic here.
배낭아도 추퉁으로.
Yeah.
추 당부 간에 중사디 짱마당 약부지나 아니 추디 퉁나 아니 원에 수불라 펜바당 아니 약부여레스. 추 중사 권한라 년카여나. 짱마 매바체 두불라 속바단데 내기 년카여나 아니 디 추퉁와나 아니 소소라 나자다 아니 치와라 속바디니 디 당부디 유바디 개침부터 그거야. 학고가디 개침부레스.
It's very important. It's the same with water. The source of water is extremely important. If the source of water is clean, the water will be clean and it will be healthy for us to drink. If the source of water is poisonous, is fouled in some way, then it will, if we drink it, bring about disease and problems. So the source of the quintessential instructions that we are about to receive, it's important that it be a pure source.
네, rgyal lapsanga.
라.
지난 나서 rgyal
믹셀기.
Yeah.
규바디 개침부터 그랬어.
So he did say that.
밀라.
He said, especially for foreigners, it's really important to get this.
규바세죠.
That's all.
The lineage.
네 개침부터 그랬어. 윤생 가르치려고 그랬잖아.
Why is that?
추 규바디. 윤생 가르치나.
Why is the lineage so important? Or
배나 추이나. 추기 추믹다보다 강다고지기 규바코랑라 추메나. 난절로 추톱기 말아. 당부 추 중사부로. 이니 라마 간대지 담네 캬한즈 추여다고 쉬기나. 라마 코랑라 디기 추기 규바티메나. 아니 추미 감볼라 추메바나시 코랑라 디기 진랍다. 아니 뉴바디 요 말레스. 제상 지금 그 디테트고요 말레스. 맞다. 지장 락바르도 지게룽발라 다 라마 메나야 라마 인람게 아니 딘데 담가 메나야 담가 예람게 아니 딘데 좀 망부 준비로 와. 그래서 뭐 코랑 랑라 메바이나 아니 그게 미신달라 돼야 이거 말아. 시기래 망부. Dindi inchi minji gyupa di gugu yores. Ta yakshue di lama gyupa yoba di lama di kandij gugursana lama di la ngone ishegi nuba yobachi. Ishegi nuba yoba di lama la gugu yores.
Yishe?
Ishe sikirwa nga zo.
Yishe. Yije.
Mare. Wisdom.
Oh, yeshe.
Yishe, huh? Lama Korang ki sem la, ani chö la, nyamlen chebal tene, yishe ki chö topa sikirwa. Yishe ki chö topa di yakshu chungna dindi gugu yores. Di ma topa ina ya, ani Lama Korang la, Lama Tenzin Lama yakbu chikne, ngone Korang la, wang tang, lung tang, chi tang, karina, digi yupa di inchi minchi gugu yores. Di nga shingi yo, nga pyoge lo shingi yo, nga kerang la, yupa mena di pyoge lo shenpa tamgi di shenda la, di kyabdil chetugu yo ma res, yupa di chatugu yo ma res. Di tsogo chik res, tangbu kung chik dine labu yo res.
So again, why is the lineage so important? Well, source is always important. If there's no water in the spring, you can't get any. And there must be water in the spring. You can't get water from a dry place. And likewise, from a teaching, the blessings, the waves of grace, chinlap, and potency, nuba, must be there. Otherwise, it won't be efficacious. Especially if the Lama does not actually have the quintessential instructions. And this is particularly an issue in the West. There may be a Lama who's not a Lama. There may be someone who doesn't really have the lineage, who does not actually have experience or understanding, and doesn't actually have wisdom in their practice, and then they're not able to offer wisdom. I mean, and even if they don't have fully developed wisdom, they must have certain qualifications. They must have received Wang, empowerment. They must have transmission, Lung. They must have Tri, Wang, Lung, Tri, instructions. Without these, it's not possible to say, well, I know Tibetan, I'll tell you what it means, without having had an actual initiation, an actual transmission, and actually having experienced oneself. If one doesn't have that, you don't actually have anything to give. Oh, the fire, the heat of wisdom. Yeah.
So the best is... Go ahead there.
Ideally, you have the tra, the heat of wisdom. Then that's something you can share. Something more about
Penangansu disirwa shela jitu kapso domba shisirwa domba adini rabjungi domba ani kimbagi domba ani tana rabjungi domba rabjungla ya getsul singe gelong singe na 진짜 rab manguyero rabjing kimbatang getsu tang gelong manguyero ani 지당한 시디가 없어. 돈바 숨기 나네. 아니 게롱디 돈바 약셔레스. 게출디 바르바레스. 김바기 돈바스나 마셔지게레스. 이나야 콘주 숨가 이 돈바디 직 토브레 직 징레 직 마브레 이나야 게시 김바직 돈바 예바지 코랑라 이식이 줘야되나? 콩 게롱기 강라샤고 요레스.
For example, when we speak of taking vows, we have three sets of vows. There's the vow of the fully ordained monastic, there's the vow of the initiate, and the vow of householders. And generally we say that the vow of the fully ordained monastic is the best, and middling is the vow of the initiate, and least of all is the vow of the householder. However, if somebody has that means a layperson's vow, and they also are imbued with the fire of wisdom, then in that case, their vow is actually superior even to that of the fully ordained monastic.
Lama 신이 된바디 개침부치 가르긴 차고르스나.
Mm-hmm.
만술라 릭바디 모트고 요레스. 다 저 오늘 적생기 다직 뒤지셔봐이나 릭바 모트랑라 라리게레. 상마. 모트에디 릭바 모트 라리게레. 아니 라마 코랑라 아니 디 모트베 값소. 모트킹게 라마 코랑 당보 릭바 모트바. 코랑 릭바 모트. 릭바 모트바 나시 아니 모트베 강라 냠렌체네 또 냠렌라 때네 댕여버체. 딘디고서 아니 코랑기 릭바 디페 som보다고 차게요. som보
Fresh.
alive 나시.
Alive, yeah.
딘디 차데요. 근데 다 딘데 영게 라마 찍네 케랑기 티 쉬바이나 아니 공기 모트다고 나와이나 아니 오네 케랑라 모트디 케랑라 대바다 딘데기 다 로메기 체니 약부 창화예나 아니 케랑라 디기 모트디 아니 토베기 고갑디 중구요레스 다 라마 코랑 릭바 모 마트 라마 코랑 딘데기 냠렌다 댕딘데 가야메나 아니 공기 미센달라 모트 집에나 아니 디 모트에 메버레 코랑라 모트기 디요 마레스 딘디가서 딘데 인체민지 디 규바디 개침부 임바다 규베게 나라 라마디 아니 인체민지 아니 생이 된바지 용바디 개침부 차가.
And so it is very important that the Lama be a fully qualified Lama, Tsini Tandemba, literally one who has the defining characteristics of a Lama. And what do we mean by that? In the Dzogchen context, specifically, we mean that, this is a person who actually has identification of Rikpa, of their own sheer presence. In brief, put it very simply, the qualification of the Lama depends on this. And so this Lama needs to have indeed initially had a real identification of their own sheer presence, their own Rikpa, and then having had that identification, practiced it a great deal, to the point of having confidence in it, and to the point where it's actually alive. It's like a living, I guess you could say a living presence for them. And then if someone asks them to teach, and the student, so then the Lama is qualified in this way, and the student also needs to be qualified by having a certain kind of confident devotion, confident belief, conviction, faith, teba. Then when these two things come together, we really have a very good occasion. But if the Lama has not had real identification of their own Rikpa, if they have not actually practiced and developed certainty about this, then it won't work. So for this reason, we say that lineage is very, very important, and the Lama indeed needs to be fully qualified.
인데치네 라마디 다 디네 시디가서 이체 최라 이체하게도 디 규박이 쿵쿵스디 약보지 임바 이어바지 하코에 디케지 뭐지 다 대다부 규바디 약보지 심야디 라마라 아니 이식이 되어버자 마임바 아니 라마당 로메기 드와 라 아니 오네 전에 아니 짱마지고 요래서 딜라 논트리다 아니 근데 겸해야지 이 개침부 쉬우차고 그랬을 때 딘데기 제바 무투니 샤야디
Jawa Mutune.
제바 라마당 로마 제바 디 무투니 약부지 요래서 겸해봐 맞다 최랑 담식식으로 또 된다 가르쳐서는 라마당 로메 발가기 제바딜라 겸해봐 배 짱마치 셀부지 그거 요래서
So not only is it very important that there be faith in the Lama, faith in the teaching, that the lineage that one understands that the lineage is in fact authentic, and that the Lama has like the heat, the warmth of wisdom itself. What is also needed is the kind of connection that the Lama has with the student, and that connection has to be blemishless. It has to be a connection that one can continue without fault, that is clean and clear, one follows the commitments that one makes in that relationship and connection. And this is something very important.
And you say even yeshegi ter menayang delwa yapo yena
Now,
den lobarba.
now, Yishigi Tremenaya,
Oh,
Jeva Yakuyanaya, Dila getting chiggers, benefit chiggers.
ah, okay. Even if the Lama does not have the, like fire, the warmth of a wisdom itself, if these other conditions are met and the relationship is good, there is benefit. I'm speaking about the warmth, the fire. This is extremely important. And what we mean by that, it's like a living. It has a life to it.
이 트레디 매바차디 갑소 아니 닝기낭라 차주에디 매바차 차주에 매바차디 가서 아니 미시디 갑소 로창마 장모 도낭신 장모 차야 돼 사게레 트레스에디 카와이나 내갑디 케치무 차게레스.
So this heat is something very important, and heat is generally important if we understand how our own bodies work. In the heart, for example, it's very important that the channels are able to carry blood in the proper way. And that requires heat. When there is warmth, it is possible that the blood and so on actually move through the channels. But without heat, we don't have that flow. We don't have that nourishment. We actually can't live. And we know very well that when one has died, the corpse is stone. It's like a stone. It's cold. There's no heat there. So the heat is something extremely important. Everything depends on it, really. In order for anything to go, it needs heat, right? Human beings, cars, trains, airplanes. It has to be some kind of fire to make it move.
그래서 고림제로 근데 매바지 땡겨야 이 트레일러 때문에 아니 갈래 슉체를 친디가 없어 아니 오늘 아니 상게 터지.
Because once there's heat, this kind of living warmth, then gradually we can proceed more and more and more, and in fact come to complete awakening. But if there isn't that heat, then just like a motor vehicle just can't go anywhere without it, then we also cannot proceed. So proceeding through the stages of the path, just like moving through the sky for an airplane, requires this, let's call it living warmth.
근데 미나야 오늘 미배 셈바이 상보 아니 미배 약분 상마 미 트레 요켄시그레스 아니 미배 마시베 계자시다 마싱에 밀라시다 들어 마지베 미배 동반 나고 상마 아니 가서 닝 장무시그라 미 닝 장모
yeah.
Cold-hearted.
Yeah.
딘디시그레 딘디 디 시다기 뭐네 최근에 개침부지 그랬어. 삭바르도 만수 냠렌 전에 거림신도 야 두디 값어. 아니 당보 매차. 스박시로 매차게 나왔나시. 두하게 나왔나시. 아니 마르메게 나왔나시. 데 망보기 시기였어. 정말 매랬던 배산 마시기였어. 야 야게도 단디고 정말 트레토할 때는.
So again, this living warmth is really, really important. And in fact, when somebody is, very kind-hearted and does good things and so on, we say they're a warm person. And that's a positive comment. Whereas somebody who doesn't interact very much or doesn't have much to say, kind of withdrawn, we might say this is a cold person. They have a cold heart. So in terms of the Dharma, this kind of warmth is really, really important. And in our practice needs to have some kind of spark to it. It needs to have this, kind of living heat. We speak of metaphors like a butter lamp. I forget what the first one was. Marme tang ding spark, meta, spark.
두아
Tua?
두아시라 smoke.
Smoke.
매차 나싱게 나와셔게 아니 두하게 나와시게 돼서 아니 마르메게 나와시게 돼서 아니 니마게 나와시게 돼 최 나라 야야야 고림신이 두디가 진데게 나와 방부지 야게 두디가 진데게 나와 만다 샤리 버시게 돼.
So in the Dharma, we speak of these different kinds of signs that are indicative of ultimately warmth. We speak of smoke, which suggests there's some kind of light, fire going on somewhere, or a spark. And finally, the sun, or butter lamp, the sun. There are various kind of degrees of luminous warmth.
아메리카라 칼리포니아라 매망구시게.
Unfortunately.
In California, there's a lot of fires.
Fortunately.
시다게 sembakyuda ngandu changma mone dila monam javne.
And really, we're very sad hearing about this and been doing a lot of prayers for that.
아니 개치시데 ngandu 가르쳐서는 오네 아주 그 코리우디 숨겹체고요. 오네 전에 코리우디 ngandu 가츠게 야와지 숨겹체바나 대감자기 매당 추당 lunga 디기 냥카디 뇽을 두고요. 다 말람 잡았자 마임바 코리우 숨겹체로.
Koryu?
environment. 숨겹.
Yeah.
이콜로지나 시래.
Yes,
프로텍션제.
yes.
코리우 숨겹체야 돼 간속이 랭겐차거. 간속이 원내게 말람 디 코리우 숨겹을 할래. 코리우 숨겹 같이 약과체바나 디기 냥카디. 상규 개베스로. 상규 earthquake. Sagul. Earthquake.
Earthquake. Oh.
Sayo.
Sayo 나시 메기 냥가나시 추위녀 도망고 루미녀로 상마 원에 말람 개봤다 마인 바가니 아주 딘데기 토라 나는 잠불이나 탄다 딘데기 초바 먹고여로 딘절로 원에 아주기 디체네 록바체네 아주기 디 원에 디 yar게 땅고요.
And so we think of this also in terms of our own world, in terms of what we would call ecology. We know that there's great difficulty in terms of water, in terms of flood, in terms of fire, in terms of earthquakes. And so we make prayers for the world so that this can be repaired, so that we can benefit the world in some way.
Not just prayers. We actually have to do something.
Oh, we have to do something.
No.
Not just prayers is not enough. You actually have to do something to protect against all of these environmental disasters, including fires and earthquakes. And there are now many, many meetings aimed at averting these catastrophes. And we need to cooperate. Everyone needs to cooperate about these very, very difficult things.
데 부모 로충유지기 디콜라 셰버와 아니 잠불링 상마 시다게 도난 체르친스로와 니네 가서 참참문에 수수기 로바디 충충 지나야 디 유와 첨부당 투고여레스 근데 가서 딘데기 인지미지 가서 상마라 디 게인여레스 게인디 케고여레스.
So now there's this young girl that we know, and people are taking great interest in what she is saying about the environment. And sometimes it's like that some, in some sense, a small cause can really be very, very powerful and have a very great effect. And we all have to take responsibility for this.
다 디네 다 인데 숨게 가는 맛이 인데 가서 아니 규박의 로유디 셰차바제 아니 규박의 로유기 제라 다 니바디 담방뇌디 시게래 아니 담방뇌디 시디 값서 담방뇌라 타와 가는 직시 곰바 가는 직시 쮸바 가는 직시 드부 가는 직시 인데 시가네 담방뇌디 시게래 디 값.
And so we have, going back to these three topics, the first one, as we have said, is the lineage. And then there is the discussion of the actual quintessential instructions, the actual instructions. And this has three parts: the view, meditation, and activities. Sorry, 4 parts: view, meditation, activities, and fruition. And these are listed... Shibodi Kabayore. Learned, I'm wondering if you can help us put this together, Mr. Sabje.
488.
That's in 488.
Yola, dig yola.
Oh, sorry.
Last sheet is.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Bottom of 488. Yeah, it's pretty.
Tawachi, Gombaji, Chuba do. Hit of Tawa Gomba Chuba Shibi Kapsu. 당부디라 아니 라멘 난조 검단 시거래. 라멘 안주 검당 시베 값수 오늘 전에 가서 다닌 가서 시바나시래 아니 소소 도지 셈발라곰 아니 안소 템바디 아니 군지 갸볼곰 아니 디기 곰라 때네 디네 룽기 돈다 때네 도르지 데바스 두숨 도르지 데바라 때네 곰당 디네 악 당당 안디도 참아디 당부 문으로 값이 시거리서.
And so the first of these with respect to the view is the Daula Takche.
말 따와디 마싱해라. 아니 문도디라. 아니 라미난지디 시거리서.
And before going on to talk about the view itself, there is a discussion of the foundational, the ngundro, foundational practices, preliminary practice here. And as here, the preliminary practice is specifically a Guru Yoga, Lama Neljor, and specifically the Guru Yoga of the deep blue Vajrasattva. You may remember from last time, the deep blue Vajrasattva you become, and on your crown, Samanta Bhadra, and then that is followed by the Vajra breathing recitation, and then the dissolving with the and resting in that. So that is all described here. So generally, Ngundro in foundational practices, Guru Yoga is extremely important.
지당 제배나 ngondro 지당 투몽기 맞아 ngondro 계획 값서 붐가 제배 값서 라메 난주 디다 타마딜 샤게르 제우네 샤게르스 다 조체 셈데 값서 라메 난주 디 ngondro 차게르스 맞아 지당기 ngondro 나라 네 가르쳐가지고 디 로도 나바시 아니 디 투몽기 ngondro 아니 투몽 마인 ngondro라 jamdo the same just in shagoro di kapsu ani ngaso the dzogchen same de kapsu lamen nanju di ani ngodo rang chagoris tumo main begi ngodo nyamlen chagyo mari ngodo tsam chagyo.
So here in the Mind Class of Dzogchen teachings, Ngundro itself is the Guru Yoga. We know that in the foundational practices that we are familiar with, we begin with the four thoughts that turn the mind away from samsara, the shared or common foundational practices, followed by the uncommon foundational practices of refuge and bodhicitta and so on, with Guru Yoga at the end. But in this case, in the Mind Class of Dzogchen and accumulating the 5 sets of 100,000 practices and so on. Here we do, the Ngundro consists of this particular Guru Yoga.
That di kapsu lamen nanjugi ngondro kapsu zo ngazu karichi korsana. One lamegi semgyu la yebe. Lamegi semgyu la yebe gi ishe. Lamegi nyamle rigbala chebegi di ani lamegi semgi nangla sombo desha na shinjares ta nganzu digi chorwadi digi nyamnyongdi nganchola yungya chedu ani ngone thane thangbu gochudine lamen nanjone gochu gores ta di gochudi gastenda lamegi thukdang rangi semdi yerme du drene 아니 딘데지 투이 예르메드 제베강데라 아니 냠버 샤네 디 냠버 샤인디 가스티니 타와디 모트메 코시게레.
So in Guru Yoga, what is the main thing here? The main thing here that the mind continuum of the Lama itself consists of a primordial wisdom, which is present there. There is primordial wisdom, yeshe, in the gyu, the mind continuum of the Lama. And this has a sun, it has a living warmth, it's alive. And also the Lama is practiced in Rigpa, in sheer presence. And there is a tsorwa, a kind of feeling tone, maybe we could say an affect, actually associated with this. And we want to practice to connect with that through Guru Yoga. So in the practice of Guru Yoga, we practice that our own heart-mind is indivisible from the heart-mind, the wisdom heart-mind of the Lama. And within that indivisibility, we can get a identification of the view.
That di karitan gorsna ngone rigba ngotwe bala. Ani lama tang susu sini yewa meba jaha ko yore. Di lama sina dis za cheba yibana shi. Susu sidi gosu dos tamal parna shi. Chungwa na shi. Digi namdo di meba so ko yore. Kesi ngansola digi yewa di na. Lama sina tis sangye dabu tos ya towane che sosu sidi kaso tos mawane che wane ani di kapdela ani sosu ki sem di tomengi namdo di yoba inzang sangengi yewa di yoba inzang ani ngodi tutu biyo mares
Guna sangengi
yewa
yewa
yozang lama sangware nga ngen bares yoba inzang ani nga su rikpa di ngo tutu biyo mares je zang tawa ngotre bala tangbo khari gogorsna ngone semgi gangla lebdi kapsu gomgi nyamlengi kapsu ngone ngansugi khari ha khotub gorsna ngone ngegi semdi gomla debe kapsu ngegi semdang lamegi semla yewa mindu kepar mindu di ngone rang chikpa rang resha dila sange mindu samba digi samlo de lebaina ngansu thande thamalpegi namdogi 상인기 예와 지역이 쌤디 마메바 차도 디 메바 차디 갑수 아니 간솔라 오네 당네 디 내갑딜라 아니 간소 오네 릭바디 못트바다 릭바디 가나 냠버 샤투 바지 차기여레 곰잡에 갑수 깜루 제바나시 깜루기 남도나시 아니 상계스나 콩빼 닭바레 콩빼 짱마레 콩빼 약부레 nga khorwala yore nga dunga yore dinde ki namdo na shinji nga zo dini tawe nyamlen chimere ani nga zo di ngotre tuwe yo mare chesa di ke chimbuchi chage da ani lame nanju di shawa denda chik di res
in order to get this identification of our own sheer presence, it is essential that we have this experience, conviction, feeling of being, of our own mind being absolutely indivisible from inseparable, not different than the mind of the Lama. Not, in other words, to have the ordinary idea that we might have in the context of taking refuge. For example, we take refuge, we feel, oh, the Buddha is so high and so magnificent and so awakened, and me, I'm so suffering and miserable and samsaric being. This is in that kind of, within making that kind of discrimination, we would not actually be able to get identification of the view. So in this context, in the context of Guru Yoga, and the purpose for which we are practicing it, it's very important not to have the thought that, oh, the Lama is so high and so great and so amazing, and I'm, in comparison, absolutely nothing. Not to have that thought, but actually to feel that there is an inextricable unity and indivisibility between my mind and the Lama's mind, and in this way it becomes possible to make an identification when one meditates in this way, to be able to feel at that time that there is no division, no difference in quality between one is not good and the other in comparison bad. Not to feel that way, not to make that kind of discrimination, because again, that kind of discrimination, which is such ordinary mind state, is going to make it impossible to actually have the identification. Can't identify the view when we are in that sort of judgmental, status conscious state.
Jumse dila tene. Pena Maha Yoga, Anu Yoga, la sokwe nangsu karishi or digi tap di hakwe tamal gi nawa tamal bagi shemba. Na tamal pa yin se shemba di meba sechedu ani lala gomgwe di shige. Di nawa tamal gi nawa digi ngane ngansu dotukuya mari chesan tangwa nangwa di gyuriya ki chidu lagi ngowola gomne ani chesi goris ta ngagi ta pena semde la sobe nani tindegi yang di namba ki kordi mashe bache sem rangi gane ngone chikte bayna ani dila yawa me bache hakone di dila ani yiche chene ani di gangla dosha bayna ani ngone ngansula di rikba ngotre batang ani rikbegi gangla nyambar shaatu bala so dindi gechen simbuji ores di gechen buji shage ores dindi ngone nga dzogchen nyamlen chiti kapsu so 당부디 가르고 버스나 셈라 녜시디 로식침부지 고거레스 녜시다 댕세지 로티 숙침부지 고거레스 단단 안소 람상 딘데기 삼로 숙침부디 랩투고 말레스 예와 메바티 예르메기 삼로디 랩투고 말레스 예르메기 삼로디 레알라 만솔라 댕징 야바드 고거레스 댕디 가네 중그르스나 모트바다 냠뇽라 때네 아니 디 댕디 랩고레스 디 댕디리 가서 아니 디기 남도 숙침부디 예와 숙침부디 매바차들 그런데 마하요가 아니요가 민 간지만지 다 하셔버려 이나야 된다디 나서 타말기 나와디 장약이 시듯이
So this is why in Maha Yoga and Anu Yoga in particular, there are so many practices where we dispense with our ordinary state of perception by imagining that we are an enlightened being, we are a deity, we are divine beings, and we know we have many practices. And this is why we do them, so that we can get over the conviction that we are simply ordinary. We do deity meditation, we feel that we are the deity, we purify appearances. Now in the Semde, in this mind class of Dzogchen teachings, we don't work with imaginary vision in that way. What we work with, however, is actually our own mind directly itself, to gain confidence in what the status of our own mind is. And it's very, very important for the sake of being able to rest in a meditative equilibrium within our own state of sheer presence, that we, first of all, need to have a very strong ngeshe, definitive understanding of our own mind. This is very important. So helpful for us to acknowledge that it's not like we can go instantaneously, from our ordinary way of thinking we're low and the Buddha and the Lama is very, very high. This is a process. And the process begins with, or very important to that process, is that we have a very strong identification of our own mind. And this will help us, help facilitate our being able to feel confidence in the unity, the indivisibility of our own mind. And once we get some deng, this kind of confidence based on our own experience about the status of our own mind, then we are able to recognize that there is not possibly some kind of vast difference between our mind and even the very greatest of Lama's minds. And so in Maha and Anu Yoga, they give their practices many, many different names, but this is really why we do it. We do it to get over tamalgisem, ordinary mind, which thinks that we are ordinary, which gets stuck in thinking that we are only ordinary and that we are seeking to purify that kind of mind so as to make possible this sense of indivisibility with the Lama's mind, which in turn will be the suitable circumstance in which we can get a clear identification.
So just to repeat, because one phrase was left out. The undifferentiated state arises based on assurance, which is deng, and assurance is based on experience, which is nyamnyong, and experience is dependent on the notur, which is the identification. So dependent on the identification, notur, there is experience, which is nyamnyong. Based on experience, nyamnyong, the assurance can arise, and based on that, the sense of undifferentiatedness can arise.
So it's the other way around? Then I had it?
You
I
had it,
thought
but you
that-
just missed the identification. Identification starts. Noter.
And that makes, I thought the indivisibility was what made the identification possible.
Well, that's true, but it's within undivisibility. There is an identification. Well, we're going to ask Lama in a second, but the indivisibility allows the nurture, the
Right,
identification.
the indivisibility allows the nurture, which then you
But
can
an
do.
identification, you then develop experience in meditation, gom, experiences Nyam-nyong, but on basis of Nyam-nyong, then Deng arises, and then that undifferentiation certainly deepens.
Now,
Rebecca?
that is.
So, yeah, Rimadi did a younger Surana.
Da.
Kind of said, Deng kabakaba yore, tene yerme kabakaba yore.
Pena, the Korim Dawdi Shevena, Pena, answer Gavus, Yama and a Gavus and a pet, Tobutzigro. Nani, Michik, ko the long muchingero, Tangbo,
Trumbo,
Bango.
Oh, Bango.
Mi Bango, Tangbo zero, Kyobo.
Uh-huh.
Mi Kyobo, Kiran Gavures, Labjana,
Uh-huh.
Kuchuni is Chimara.
Uh,
Kiran Gavures, Lamna, Kuchuni is Chimare. Nani, ko Gabu Yichi Chela. 아니 간속에 콜라 이체만 콜라 디 이체만 고래. 오 계란기 빨라 냐마 개부기 주바래. 아니 계란기 아구 다두야 요래. 코랑 냐마 아구 주바래. 아니 계란기 빨라 계란 로춘지 값서 동화래. 아니 계란 남이 매장 계란 땅부 차버래. 아니 제장 다 계란 간속 개부 속이니 아니 개부 수디 값서 아니 계란 산이 아니 Gabu Koloke, Keran la Toshuke, Ani Michama Yong Keran la Pu, did it Kangachina, Aniko Yichi Shuksha Libiro, Kalekale. Di Menako Lamsang has Nako Chetukumara. Dina she Anzo Korim da with the city goes, Dindegi only Anzo Rigba Mo Treber Chebala. Tangbung Anzo la Karikorsana, one tani Mo Trehingi Lamala. Lama tang lome pagi drewa di sangmaj gu yores. Di drewa di la tokpa tang dinde kyo mewa chi. Di kyo mewa chadi kasu lama ki kari labai na loma ki di tsik di takta ha kotu kola tokpa chiga ki mares. Di tokpa maki di kasu kola di ngodu chu yung yores. Rigba di ngodu yores. Rigba di ngodu di kapsu kola lamsang ki deng libi mares. 아니 뭐 트레베기 된디 당보코 녜시게니 오 딘데지 임바다 릭바스나 딘데지 임바다서 그 하코와르다 당보 하코와 짬리기 녜시레 투마 아니 칼레 그게 하코와딜라 칼레 코랑기 냠렌 체체 또스 곰 잡든지데 뭐네 인사레 녜 셈바디 마축 베캅스 셈바디 베 러브 값스 뭐네 나라 참참 디기 냠 용기도 인데기 냠용 디체네. 이거서 아니 그게 댕디 슉체르체로. 콜라 이체기 슉체르 리비어스. 디 슉치물리디 가서 아니 코디 냠렌 릭베가나 샤시디 가서 아니 릭바디 레라부 셈디 레라부 지가 릭바가나 샤 도투비어스. 디 메나 콜라 남도 글로 망비어스. 페나 미빵고 지레 계란 개부레 랍샤나 아니 콜 람상 개부임바 그 이지지 뭐 디나싱 삼는 거 디디 근데 거림다고 근데 망구질 때네 아니 칼레 디기 나저 곰 잡네 아니 칼레 냠용사네 냠용사고 때네 아니 로라 이체다 댕딜레 거래 아니 댕레디 가서 아니 뭐네 이 랑싱기 지 레하부 차도
Naso. So to explain the stages in another way, we know that a king is considered somebody who has very, very high status. And if someone were to approach a beggar in rags and say, you are a king, they will not believe you. It would not be possible for them to be confident in that. First, in order to bring about some confidence, you would have to say, well, actually, your father is of royal blood, and your father died early, and so the family became impoverished, but your uncle is still living, And in fact, this is your lineage. And gradually, the beggar will begin to have a little bit of more confidence about this. And to make it even stronger for the beggar to recognize their identity as a king, we'll have a bit of a ceremony, and we'll dress you up really well, in king's clothing, and you will have a retinue and all of the accoutrements of a king, and then gradually the person would, in fact, begin to have a little bit more possibility of feeling, I guess I'm a king. So in this way, it's important that what's key is that the relationship between the Lama and the student be free of blemish, be clean, be such that the student can feel confident about the Lama. The connection is clear. There's no fault to it. And then, in that case, because of that good connection, when the Lama says something, the student will not have a whole lot of doubt about it. They will feel confident about what they are hearing. And also, when they won't have a doubt about when they get when the Lama, therefore, starts to identify their own sheer presence, they will not immediately have full-blown confidence, but they will have a certain kind of definitive understanding. It begins with that. Geshe, there's some kind of understanding. And gradually, this can develop further. Gradually, as one practices, one begins to see that, actually, sometimes my mind is relaxed in the way that's being described. And I have some experience of that. I get it. And in fact, I can, more and more, I can access this state more and more easily. And so through going through this kind of process, the student won't have like a whole lot of thoughts about it. It will just, like the beggar, gradually one begins to absorb, one begins to digest what has been identified, and develops one's own experience through one's own meditation.
No.
Yeah. So at this point, we're about ready for our morning break.
So that we can be relaxed.
For about 15 minutes.
So we'll come back at 11:45?
Yeah.
Come back at 11:45, everyone? Lasso?